As the 2024 jazz season draws to an end, Honorable Ernest Hilaire, Minister of Tourism, has emphasized again the importance of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival to the island's nation, economy and marketability as a tourism destination. Hilaire indicated the revenue stream which trickles down through all sectors of the economy and the additional marketing of the island by celebrities invited to perform, the value of what the festival brings to the island should not be overlooked.
There's so many reasons why you should support the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. You start off with a very clear understanding of the value of the festival for the promotion and marketing of St. Lucia. In fact, all social media, all over, is all about St. Lucia and the Jazz Festival and the success that it was. And the St. Lucian experience, I mean, if you just look at David's postings, for example, and that is immeasurable, significant coverage that St. Lucia gets in terms of marketing and promotion.
Hilaire states the final figures have not been tallied. However, there were over 50 nationalities present for this year's festival. With the influx of visitors to the island, he highlighted the direct economic benefits which were widely dispersed throughout the island due to the fringe events as well.
Then you add to it the economic impact, how it filters throughout the economy, various sectors. So you have visitors coming in, spending money, renting vehicles, going to restaurants, going to different events and spending. And that itself is a no-brainer. You cannot argue with that. When you add in the community festivals, that benefit is not just a cash-rich grocery benefit, but it filters down to the communities as well. When you have 5,500 people in Soufrière, for the Soufrière Jazz, it filters throughout the local economy in Soufrière. When you have it in Deriso, even in Bexau, which is a new event, you can actually feel the spread and the filtering down of the benefits.
Hilaire acknowledges that criticism over the government's spending on such festivals will never go away, but he welcomes it in an effort to improve the St. Lucian product.
And even those who are critical continue to share your observations and your suggestions, because it's the only way we will really get it right. That even in the criticism, there are sometimes very good suggestions as to what we can do better. So I don't have a problem with some of the criticism. Let it come, and we will continue to work on it and tweak it until we make it right.
And although the figures have not been disclosed and processed as yet, Honorable Hilaire has dubbed the 2024 Jazz and Arts Festival a success. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austin.
Good evening, St. Lucia. Welcome to For the Record. I am so happy that you are able to join us this evening. Let me tell you, for the last 2 weeks, we did not have the show that we would have liked because we were so busy with jazz. Let me tell you, the distraction of jazz was there, and certainly we could not focus on anything else but the economic activity, that boom in economic activity in St. Lucia as a result of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. My name is Lucia Jawahir, and this is For the Record. This program is brought to you by the St. Lucia Labour Party, and it's all about the policies and programs of a governing Philip J. Pierre-led administration. Let me tell you, I am beaming with pride, and I'll tell you why. Marshall Montano said that this St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is the best jazz festival in the Caribbean. Wanderlust magazine, the United Kingdom's premier travel magazine, rated St. Lucia #1 out of 10 jazz festivals globally. Let me tell you, all roads led to the Mindofilla Park on April 30th, which coincidentally was International Jazz Day, for the opening of jazz. I know the Prime Minister was excited. I saw the police there in full force. I saw many supporters, persons visiting the island, persons from the Caribbean. Let me tell you, thousands and scores of persons attended this year's St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. As you would have heard from the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for tourism, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, Soufrière was an exciting time for the people of St. Lucia. Over 5,500 patrons, registered patrons, on the Soufrière Mini Stadium. I was there. It was exciting. I got to listen to Arthur. I got to listen to Tedison John. I got to listen to Donatan. And Donatan even proposed to his lady. Let me tell you, this year, Jazz, everybody was getting engaged there. Hint out, fellas. Don't waste any more time. But it was such an exciting activity. Now, you know, the St. Lucia Labour Party campaigned on bringing back the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. This is the second festival since the SLP won the general elections of July 26, 2021. And in our manifesto, our SLP manifesto, You the People, page 13, where we speak of creative industries and culture and tourism, point number 5 spoke of bringing back jazz to the communities. St. Lucia, when we grew up, we thought that tourism was a foreign thing. We thought it was all about hotels up in the north of the island, filling in hotel rooms, and hardly ever did you see great promotion of what the ordinary St. Lucian had to offer in terms of their beautiful skills and talents. But Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, one of the first things he did when he came into office was to implement what we call a CTA, Community Tourism Agency. That agency has been going across the island, working with entrepreneurs, young and experienced, to help them develop their craft, offering training, offering financial support, mentorship, business advice to help them be able to take their businesses to the next level. So no longer will ancillary just be a rest stop, as was promoted by the previous administration, but the people of ancillary, for example, can showcase what it is that they have to offer. The vendors can showcase their ancillary fish fry festival. They can be along the side of the road, you know, in a professional manner, being able to offer the best customer service as patrons stop by on their way to Soufriere or even on their way to the ancillary waterfall. So a lot has been happening in tourism, and with jazz being back in St. Lucia, the promotion of the Jazz and Arts Festival, we have to say, and well, just not my word, but the people of St. Lucia are saying that they actually feel the impact. This first part of our segment, we will focus a bit more on the Jazz and Arts Festival. We want to take you down memory lane. Of course, jazz ended on Sunday, Mother's Day, but for some of us who still want to relive some of those experiences, who are still basking in these experiences, where we got to meet our friends, family, you know, dress up nice, do our nice little hair, let me tell you, it was such an exciting time. So we'll pay attention to the next few clips, and when we come back, we have some interesting conversations. One of them will be the halls of justice, but don't go anywhere. Let's take in some more jazz.
The Junior Jazz Festival embodies the spirit of youth as primary and secondary schools from across the island lend their artistry and musical expertise to develop a monument to youth talent. With the aid of the Cultural Development Fund, Castries Constituency Council and sponsors such as First National Bank, the park was illuminated with joyous festivity and cultural allure, capturing the hearts of both foreigners and locals. As one of the figures instrumental in junior jazz, the mayor of Castries, Geraldine Lendall Gabriel, expressed her excitement for the event's success.
We are pleased that this event is on its second year, and we've seen the schools showcasing their talent, we've seen young persons showcasing, and importantly, not only in St. Lucia, but also on the international stage. We recognize that it is an important event that must take place for young persons, and so we will continue to support it. We are pleased that our sponsor, title sponsor, First National Bank is on board. First National Bank is on board, and also we had new sponsors, Sandals, Lucilec, were there last year, they are there as well. We have Massey Stores and Blue Waters. A number of the sponsors have come out, and that in itself is testimony to the significance of the event. We would like to see more and more come on, and we'd like to see this event grow even more as young persons finally get a place where what they've learned at school, what they have to show the country is able to be done on an annual basis.
Youth musical talent was on full display as Donnell Leonce, one of the musicians in the festival, outlined the necessity of the next generation in music and culture.
You know, a lot of the music that we used to have back then our parents used to listen to. I mean, it's dying out. And that's not a good thing, but at the same time, the younger ones are coming in. So they come in with, old school, new school, bringing in what we learned while we were young and taking in what they have while they were, well, our parents had when they were our age. And I mean, the interactions with the older people, there are some veterans here who are going to, teach us what we need to learn, what we're missing. And people from the public can come in, you get an idea. People who have never played an instrument before might, strive to play one now. So I like the way, they brought in the younger students, the outsiders, and, they brought in everybody of all variations.
Another performer at the Junior Jazz Festival, Jalen Theols, applauds St. Lucia's efforts to facilitate this event.
I think it's a nice little thing to do for the kids, honestly, from K to 12. Honestly, I believe it's very inspirational to people who don't know how to play an instrument or who can play an instrument, and they see from different perspectives of performing and all type of stuff. So I think it's really good to get people to feel motivated to play, whether it's performing or just doing it recreationally.
Additionally, the mayor highlighted the need to provide avenues of economic opportunity for our youth, as many young individuals set up booths to offer their craft.
It's important for the young people to also be there and to get some economic benefit from the activity as well. So all in all, primarily an event for young people, an event for schools, an event for our young talented ones. And what is also significant this year is that the backdrop for the stage was actually designed and developed by the St. Mary's College Arts Group. So it's important in terms of positive activities for the young persons and positively inculcating or introducing their own talent into the jazz events.
Junior Jazz breathes useful reinvigoration into the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, as the island's budding artistry and musical talent awes many for the second time. For Choice News Now, this is Obi Offer reporting. The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival embraces the theme of art and the city as a culturally elegant showcase within the heart of Castries Central. Stakeholders and facilitators such as the Cultural Development Foundation and Events St. Lucia have transformed the Derek Walcott Square into a communal spectacle, enticing passers-by and frequent commuters within the island's capital city. The event features musical talents from a variety of artists such as T.C. Brown and a presence from the St. Lucia School of Music. As a member of the CDF's Board of Directors, Barbara Jacobs-Small details how the year's festival came to be.
In 2016, the St. Lucia Jazz Festival was rebranded to the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, and that was out of a recognition that St. Lucia is such a culturally rich and vibrant space, a very creative space that is really part of the DNA of this destination. The people are very culturally, very creative. And so if we're having a global festival, an international festival in St. Lucia, we have to infuse all the aspects of culture and creative industries in it, in addition to, music that we bring into the country. We have quite a rich and vibrant music industry in St. Lucia. It's very diverse, and then we have sculpture, we have poets, we have, theater, we have dance. We're very rich in that regard. So Art and the City is really to be able to elevate that within the festival.
Jacob Small continued by explaining the varied and diverse artistry on display within the Derek Walcott Square.
For Jazz and Arts on the Square, until 2016, St. Lucians had gotten accustomed, patrons of the festival had gotten accustomed to the nucleus of activities in Castries being really here in the square. And so CDF has taken on that mantle and infusing, the music with the arts and creating quite an experience. So we will have 3 days of Jazz and Arts on the Square. We have infused the stage, the musical performances, we have infused the culinary experience. We have a whole restaurant by celebrated chef Orlando Satchel, which is a really elevated culinary experience here. But we also have other food options here. We will also have the Sculpture Park by Jalim Udovic, which is life-size sculptures that are designed to be interactive so that people can interact with the sculptures.
As the title sponsor, Republic Bank's marketing specialist Kelly Mitchell details why it was necessary for this regional bank to aid in the jazz festivities.
We specifically decided to sponsor this festival because it really aligns itself well to some of our focus areas in the creative space, in the creative industries. Choosing to be the title or the platinum sponsor was an easy decision for us because, as you know, Republic Bank has a footprint across the region where we support the communities in which we operate. And so culture and art is dear to our hearts. And we really commend the CDF for putting on this festival because it really gives us a chance to really showcase what we have from a cultural standpoint, whether it be performing arts, creative arts, culinary arts, it's all put together nicely. And we are very, very happy to be enabling this. And right here, if you look at behind me, we have a Republic Bank booth. And over the next 3 days, we encourage persons to come and engage with us. We have a mural there under the theme, Preserving Our Culture.
The international law of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is on full display, and the island unifies within the heart of Castries in a celebration of culture and artistry. For Choice News Now, this is Obi Offer reporting.
You see, St. Lucia, we had a mix of jazz and arts and jazz on the square, something I really enjoyed as a child, and also junior jazz. I'm really happy to see that junior jazz is back. And speaking of junior jazz, we want to pause for this very important cause and wish all our CPEA students all the best as they write their CPEA. We do have a message from the Office of the Prime Minister to every grade 6 student writing the CPEA exams on May 15th, and May 16th, that would have been today and tomorrow. The Office of the Prime Minister of St. Lucia wishes you all the best. So of course, children, drink your water, take in your deep breath, you will be fine, and we hope that you excel as we expect that you would. This next clip is one I found extremely interesting, and I believe there's one particular member of cabinet who can really get this done. A few days ago, we noted that Honorable Emma Hippolyte, the parliamentary representative for Soufrière for Saint-Jacques and the Minister for Commerce, met with the business community. But St. Lucia, she did not meet with the business community by herself. The cabinet of ministers joined Honorable Emma Hippolyte, and that included the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. They met at the Financial Center. They had a conversation with business owners. I was rather impressed. Contrary to what has been said that the SLP does not engage in consultation, we clearly see from this next clip that is exactly what we are doing. But let's take a listen.
Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte is the driving force behind a meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers with the business sector for fervent discussions that will allow for more targeted decision-making at the highest level. We get the details in this report from Solange Alfred.
A forum was created for the business sector to engage the Cabinet of Ministers on Tuesday morning in the first of its kind meeting.
The business sector being representatives from the Chamber of Commerce, from the Manufacturers Association, from SLISBA, the Small Business Association, Bakers Association, Coalition of Services, IT Association, all the sectors impacting business. Today they are meeting with the Cabinet. We are giving them an opportunity to speak to the Cabinet directly.
Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte says she has been meeting with the business sector quarterly and found it necessary to create a space for a large-scale, high-level discussion.
We felt there is certain issues that impact not only the Ministry of Commerce, but impacts the other ministers. Some impacts the Prime Minister directly, some impacts the Minister responsible for national security, some impacts the Minister responsible for labor, Minister responsible for tourism, Minister responsible for the environment and the energy. So one minister that is critical to this meeting that is absent today is Senior Minister King. So we have agreed that we're going to have a separate meeting when he's back on island, so with the sector. But today we have all the cabinet ministers there. The Prime Minister has addressed the gathering, and now what you have are the main issues being discussed. At the moment now the issue is the discussion of crime and how it impacts business.
Any politician who pretends they don't want to be elected is a hypocrite. I'm a politician. I want to be elected. And I can't be elected unless the business environment is good. Because regardless of who the business owners support, the workers have their own choices. So my position is that we create an environment for the business owners to expand, to employ more people, to create more activity in the economy, and I will naturally benefit. This is why we do not, when it comes to incentives, we give incentives on merit. When it comes to government purchases, we do it on merit and on cost. But we need you also to play a part. We need you to understand that the workers of this country must believe that they get a fair day's wage for a fair day's work.
The consultative and proactive meeting also addressed issues including labor availability, the environment, and maximizing benefits for the tourism sector. All discussions aimed to inform better decision-making at the highest level.
We are trying it for the first time. We believe it is a good thing where the business community hear from the Prime Minister focusing on them. They've heard this morning what the government has done, how the government, through its various fiscal policies, have assisted the business community. The removal of taxes, to waive penalties on income tax and property taxes, the issues that are there, how we have assisted technically the business community, just as we're trying to assist various groups. We've heard several times how the government have assisted the bakers in terms of subsidizing the flour and so on. So it is a government working with the business community. And today they are all in the room there, they're hearing the issues impacting each other. For example, for the crime sector, you've heard Sleesburg saying they're working with the mayor of Castries to put cameras on all businesses, and I want to applaud them for that.
The meeting served as a platform for government to explore potential implementation strategies for improving the local business landscape. Solasha Alfred, HTS News Force.
Yes, St. Lucia, the first of its kind. That was quite impressive. And kudos to you, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, and kudos to the Cabinet of Ministers for making it your duty to meet with the business sector over the last few days. St. Lucia, we want to say a special good night to our usual followers. I can already see a lot of you tuned in on the Facebook Live on Choice Television. Lou Prudence, as usual, good night. I want to say good night to Anthony Mondesi, Callister Joseph. And I noted that Honorable Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot is always tuned in. She says she is tuned in and following. Good night, Dr. Poyot, Parliamentary Representative for Babono. When we come back, we are going to address something that was put out by the United Workers' Party over the last day or two, something that is quite fitting for us to bring to the attention of the public and share with the public the truth on the matter. We would love to take your calls following that discussion, and the number to call is 728-6397. That's 758-728-6397. When we come back, we'll have a conversation about the halls of justice. St. Lucia, we'll take our first break, and don't go anywhere. We have a lot to talk about. Welcome back. You're watching For the Record. This program is brought to you by the St. Lucia Labour Party, and it focuses on the various policies and programs presented by the SLP administration. We want to say a special good night to our Prime Minister, Honorable Philip G. Pierre. We had an incident-free jazz activity, and I know this is something that, most leaders of a country come under fire for, but Prime Minister, we know that you are thanking God for an incident-free jazz festival. We want to say a special good night to Honorable Dr. Ernest Hille. I believe you need a good vacation after this excellent jazz showing. You and your team worked so very hard. Mr. Antoine, SLTA, Ms. Gibson, Events Committee. Let me tell you, we cannot say thank you, as many thank yous as we would like, because of the hard work that you have put in to ensuring that St. Lucians have ching-ching in their pocket. Now, the St. Lucia Labour Party is all about facts. There's no fiction here. There's no fluff and bluff, as someone would say. And on this show in particular, I make it my business when I talk about something to bring supporting evidence to you. I don't go online and look for articles from foreign entities and say this is what is representative of St. Lucia, not discrediting the fact that perhaps a foreign online news outlet may have information, but I go straight to the horse's mouth. I think the United Workers' Party needs to take a page from that. We'll put up on the screen a recent press release by the United Workers' Party. And like I said, St. Lucia, I won't just read it out from my laptop, but I want you to see it for yourself, and then we'll have a discussion on that. This was posted a day ago. And it reads, press release, secrecy and mismanagement shrouds government's Hall of Justice project. The United Workers' Party strongly condemns the SLP government for its ongoing pattern of secrecy and mismanagement concerning the new Halls of Justice project. On April 19th, a sod-turning ceremony was held, shrouded in secrecy, with no local media invited, contrary to the principles of transparency and accountability expected in a democratic society. As is typical of this SLP administration, they opted to manage public communication through controlled narratives, excluding our local journalists, while details of the project were released to and published by the Trinidad Guardian. According to reports, the new Halls of Justice, with a staggering price tag of US $61 million, or EC 162 million, not including financing cost for a 33,000 square foot facility, equates to an exorbitant cost of $4,930 per square foot. This cost is nearly 10 times the construction cost of the most expensive building previously erected in this country. Such financial decisions with serious implications for all St. Lucians warrant public scrutiny and justification, yet our government remains silent and excludes the media. Once again, inexplicable and exorbitant debts are being accrued by this government, which will burden the taxpayers of this country for the foreseeable future. This indiscriminate debt assumption and uncontrolled spending will cripple our people by stifling the opportunities for economic growth laid down by the UWP administration when it left office in July 2021, where the economy was on a clear upwards trajectory, with record tourism arrivals and job creation. Even more concerning is the lack of a tendering process and the financing arrangement through Public Bank, which has deviated from the customary procedures involving NIC and the NIPRO. Why were the representatives from NIC and NIPRO present at the ceremony if not to mislead the public about the nature of their involvement? Clarification must be provided to the St. Lucian public on these issues. The chosen location in the heart of the city deviates from previous plans that considered traffic flow. We'll put up page 2 for you to have a look. Accessibility and logistical efficiency. The new site near vital city infrastructure will likely result in heavy congestion, already an issue in Castries, more challenges relating to parking, and potential structural impacts on the neighboring buildings as a result of the proposed piling, including our landmark Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception and the remaining CDC buildings. The UWP demands immediate transparency about the financing and operational details of this project. They call on the government to disclose all aspects of the Halls of Justice project to the public and to engage in a process that respects the principles of fairness, competitiveness, and prudence so the public is satisfied. And the final paragraph says the UWP remains committed to holding the government accountable and insists on a governance approach that upholds the integrity and responsible management of public resources. The people of St. Lucia deserves no less. St. Lucia, let me tell you all something. It was a lot to read, but it was so very important because the United Workers' Party highlighted some very important points, and we have to address them. The United Workers' Party said that the SLP held a secret sword-turning ceremony. The United Workers' Party said that no local media was invited. The United Workers' Party said that the SLP was controlling the narrative. United Workers' Party also said that there was no information about the project except for what was written by a Trinidadian news outlet. And of course, fifthly, or point number 5 that I want to make, the United Workers' Party is calling for transparency. All right? This next clip will just give you a hint as to where I am going with this.
In the case of the halls of justice, Trinidadians, through their media, have more information than we in St. Lucia have.
Tonight, the SLP administration breaks ground on a long overdue Halls of Justice for St. Lucia.
St. Lucia can expect its new Hall of Justice within the next 2 years. A sword-turning ceremony, which was attended by Prime Minister Philippe Jawahir and several other government and private sector officials, was held earlier today.
And there's so much secrecy, nothing circulating in our local media.
Welcome back to MBC Prime. Prime Minister Honorable Philippe Jawahir emphasized the government's commitment to finishing the Halls of Justice within 730 days. This pledge was reiterated during a sword-turning ceremony on Friday, April 19.
You, the media, was excluded.
And the Hall of Justice is getting underway.
You, the media, was excluded.
Miriam Montud was also in attendance.
St. Lucians can expect the new Halls of Justice, with its stunning and futuristic architecture, to be delivered within 2 years.
The Philippe Jawahir administration held a sword-turning ceremony at the old courthouse parking lot, signaling the start of work on the Halls of Justice in Castries.
Individuals may be a step closer to swifter justice as the government breaks ground on the new Halls of Justice at the old courthouse in the capital.
And there's so much secrecy, nothing circulating in our local media.
You, the media, was excluded.
Kira St. Rose reports.
In a significant stride for St. Lucia's legal infrastructure, a sword-turning ceremony was held on Friday, April 19th, signaling the imminent start of construction for the Halls of Justice. The central facility will consolidate all legal proceedings on the island.
You, the media, was excluded.
The Halls of Justice will stand tall in the city center as the government of St. Lucia on April 19th broke ground on its reconstruction project. In its pre-construction phase, the sword-turning ceremony featured the signing of a bolt agreement between the government of St. Lucia and the NH International Limited, the contractor of the project.
And there's so much secrecy, nothing circulating in our local media.
The construction of the Halls of Justice in the former courthouse building in Castries, which will cost 143 million EC dollars, will be connected to the former education building via an overhead bridge.
According to Morgie, when will we learn these guys are not for we?
St. Lucia, I would have played this for you again, but at some point a little later we'll play it for you. Which guy is not for we? Is it the same guy who lost his seat in Castries Southeast? Because all I heard from the UWP was that the media was not included. Guess what? I listened to every news outlet tonight before I came on the show. And even NBC said that this was not true. Every media outlet, Hot 7, you saw, HTS, DBS, NBC, Choice Television. Which one did I miss, St. Lucia? Because to the United Workers' Party, this was a secret deal. This was a secret ceremony held in the city of Castries. According to UWP, this was a secret sword-turning ceremony where nobody was invited, no media was invited, and the SLP stayed hushed about it. How is it possible to have a ceremony in Constitution Park, the one place in the city of Castries where you will get the most persons congregating at any point in the day? I was at the ceremony. Many persons said they were at the ceremony. I see Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot said she was at the ceremony. There were no flaps on the side of the tent. The tent where people were seated under was very open. I saw many passers-by. I saw many citizens stop by, police officers, persons from all walks of life stopped by. But yet still, United Workers' Party comes out with their lies and said we did not invite the local media. The media, was not invited. Every single outlet was featured in that video. Days of Our Lives, whoever created that video, you did a fantastic job. That is what debunking is all about. You want to talk about these guys are not for we? Do not come to the people of St. Lucia with your usual rubbish. We have had enough of you. That's why we gave you 15-2, 13 SLP, and 2 independent senators. The least you can do is have a change in your party, change in mindsets. Coming about, you want to come back on a mandate of being transparent with the people. You have no moral authority to talk about transparency. Because at almost $500 million, you came to Parliament Tuesday after Tuesday, Maripuete after Maripuete, to borrow for COVID relief and only giving an account for about 20 million. Almost $500 million, you know. Only 20 million you accounted for in Parliament. You want to talk about transparency. Where was the transparent process in giving a construction company or entertainment company $7 million of our hard-earned taxpayers' funds to purchase vaccines that up to now we get? And you're telling us, go after the man's property. Like you come and you do what you want, mash up what you want, mash up custody suites. Left St. Lucia with nothing. Straining the resources of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. But something so critical as the halls of justice, you know, is coming to the people. A promise of swift justice. When Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre presented his first budget of 2022-2023, he spoke of a swift justice program. He spoke of the backlog of cases. He emphasized that he understood that justice delayed was justice denied. The thousands of St. Lucians who have to go all over the country to get a particular service, they can get it all in a one-stop shop. That means nothing to you. The resources needed to fight crime, to fight violence in our country, to ensure that there is speedy resolve in processing cases. That means nothing to the UWP. All they are concerned with is going online, look at an article that speaks of a 64 million project and come out and lie to people and say that, you know, we have been hush about this. It seems the UWP doesn't listen to the news. It seems UWP doesn't listen to Parliament, because Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre said in his appropriations statement, the policy debate, he presented the Halls of Justice project. And he said it is expected to cost 54 million US. So I already at 60 something. All the information that the news outlets put out there, you know, giving the impression that SLP has something to hide. Oh, there's something secret about the GPH deal. What is secret about the GPH deal? Come out and tell the people of St. Lucia that when you came into office, on 2 occasions, you had an MOU to sign with GPH. Did you ever give us any information on that? According to you, these things are a matter for government and for cabinet, you know, and then we are supposed to trust you. So now SLP is in power. That cap does not fit for the St. Lucia Labour Party. I mean, it's just wild, St. Lucia, how people think in this day and age, with access to social media platforms, with information at the tip of your fingers, that people can still be fooled in this day and age. It's like the UWP has learned nothing. Lou Prudence, I know you did not want us to have this conversation. None of us want to have this conversation because clearly the UWP is on a mission to distract. Jazz was jazzing. I listened to Timothy Polio on his show on Newspin, speaking of how the numbers looked great for Jazz. Timothy said that on his show. I was paying attention. You know, I see Father Albert, other people talking. I mean, this impacts the lives of persons from all walks of life in St. Lucia. The vendors, the taxi drivers, the bus drivers, the barbers, the hairstylists, the makeup artists, the suppliers, tour operators, business owners, restaurant owners, bar owners, the real ching-ching in your pocket by Honorable Philip J. Pierre. You know, I want to say hats off to the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Ministry of Tourism, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, Thaddeus Antoine. They did so much work. Ms. Gibson, hats off to you all. Because I noted that even before the Jazz and Arts Festival, they were showing people the economic benefits. They were showing people that at a point in time, once in a year, if we are using Jazz as an example, these suppliers had to hire more staff because Jazz was the biggest activity for them. That was the biggest business. And if you walk the streets now and you ask the people of St. Lucia, people are smiling. You know, once again, there's happiness in our country, and we don't even have to wait all the way for Carnival. Cricket is almost around the corner, and hopefully next week, Wednesday, we can have a conversation about what to expect. Cricket is around the corner. That's Airbnbs filled, hotel rooms filled, people getting tips, you know, taxi drivers making money. Everybody is impacted, from the small man, whether it be Tikai Buto Earring, Sheena Big Up Yourself, to taxi drivers, Exquisite Tours and Travels, Sheldon Simon, the whole crew, everybody playing their part to give St. Lucia the best representation, representing your country with pride. A country that is so envied by many. And we have some unpatriotic people still, you know, casting shadows and clouds of doom and gloom. But we cannot stay too distracted with that. We had to address it because they think that we will go on a back and forth with them because they want to start this with us. But no, St. Lucia. They put out their lies, we debunk it, and we move on. We have the business of the people to continue with. So we want to let you know that, of course, you can call in to share your support with the government. You can call in if there's something on your mind. I know some person said they really wanted to call in tonight. Oh my goodness, it's 9:45. It's 15 minutes before the time. But we have, the line is open, 728-6397. 728-6397, the number to call is on the screen. We'll be happy to hear from you. I know there are lots of you who have something you want to share. But before we take your calls, we have this clip by the Prime Minister. Again, I said facts, no fiction, no bluff. But this clip by the Prime Minister, which will further emphasize what we are speaking about as it relates to the facts surrounding the Halls of Justice project. Let's listen to this very quickly.
Halls of Justice. Mr. Speaker, on Friday, April 19, 2024, 4 days ago, we turned the sword to signify the commencement of the construction of the House of Justice. Mr. Speaker, this building will be constructed under bolt arrangement with NH International as a contractor and financer, with NIPO providing project management services. The bolt will entail a lease agreement with the government of St. Lucia. The expected cost of the facility is US $54 million. Mr. Speaker, this arrangement will not increase the national debt of the country, nor will it require a loan guarantee from the government of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, the new structure will occupy the abandoned courthouse building and the abandoned education building. The geotechnical survey for the site has been completed and an environment and social impact assessment is in progress to inform ways of mitigating disruption during construction. Mr. Speaker, this building will certainly enhance the architectural aesthetics of the city. Mr. Speaker, unlike the last administration, we engaged the St. Lucia National Trust for guidance and their concerns, if any, about the demolition of the two buildings that we need to accommodate the new structure. An application has been made to the DCA for the demolition of the building.
There you have it from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. St. Lucia, the number to call is 728-6397. I know some person said they were trying to get the line, but they were not able to get through. Sylvester Alpha says this program should be 90 minutes. Sylvester, will you be up to listen to the show? It's from 9 to 10. So Sylvester is asking for the show from 9 to 10:30. We have a call? Yes. Good evening. Thank you for calling the record.
Yes, good evening. Good evening. I just wanted to make a comment on the information that was given by Guy Joseph in his presentation, and he talked about the question of the cost per square foot of the project, right? Of the building. But he gave the impression that the cost per square foot was exceedingly high. But what he did not say was that on a bolt, it is not only the construction of the building, but the inclusion of all aspects of the furniture and so on. So you get a whole building with everything. That I can tell you because this is Mr. Calix George speaking. The first bold project that the Labour Party had was my effort at the building at Union. The bold building at Union, that was done by a Trinidadian firm. All right. And everything was done. The building was done. All the furniture and the equipment and so on was placed in the building, okay? Including things like stoves and everything for the people making their lunches and things like that in the building. So it is unfair and a rather cunning way of giving an impression of things. If you do not know anything about boats, shut your mouth and let somebody else who knows about boats say the thing. And that is what I wanted to bring out to the people of St. Lucia, that the boat is an all-embracing project, and you do not have to pay anything until. As a matter of fact, the building, we paid for the building at the Ministry of Communications building, and nobody even know that it was already paid for. All right, because at the end you get a delivery of $1 or whatever it was. I can't remember the thing. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you so much, Sir Calix. You see why it is so important for us to hear from you, because sometimes you hear from some people, St. Lucia, and you think that what they say is golden because you expect them as leaders or past leaders in society to bring the facts to the people. And thank you so much, Sir Calix, for coming to clear the air on that. It was said by the United Workers' Party that, the cost per square foot is far greater than the average cost. Let me tell you, they're looking for a problem with everything. And St. Lucians have to understand that contrary to the UWP's press release, it's at no cost to us. Right now, the government is not going on any loan or guaranteeing any loan for this arrangement. There's no debt increase. There's no debt incurred on public servants. Right now, all we have to do is to ensure that certain measures are in place. Prime Minister did say that there's an application before the Development Control Authority, DCA, as it relates to the demolition. The National Trust was engaged. That's not something that the United Workers' Party did prior to them demolishing custody suites. But you know what, St. Lucia? I'm really happy that Sir Calix called in and shared his views on this. We want to thank you so much. St. Lucia, I noted Leslie Compton says, the writing is on the wall and they know it. They can never get back into power in the next election. Pauline Prosper, the PM was very explicit. St. Lucians understood every word. Some people are simply up to mischief. They cannot cope with the pace of progress. That is so very interesting. St. Lucia, this next clip will take us a little back on track. I noted that an even greater number of local superstars were present and performing at this year's St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. This next clip highlights a few of them. We want to say hats off to you, especially to King Arthur from Soufre. You did a fantastic job. You, Ezra, Nerdy, Toriel, the whole crew, you all made us so very proud. Let's take a listen.
St. Lucian excellence was prominently showcased as part of the World Beat festivities on Saturday. The event provided local superstars with an opportunity to shine on the same stage as globally recognized headliners. This opportunity is part of a broader mandate by festival facilitators to highlight more indigenous acts. Among the local favorites was Arthur Ale. The multi-time soca monarch chose to include two up-and-coming acts alongside him during his set, namely hip-hop artist Sika and reggae singer Gershom. Ale emphasized his commitment to supporting young artists as part of a drive to build a lasting legacy.
You don't have to, but at the same time, it's all about leaving a legacy behind, and the one I want to leave is that one of giving back to the industry, one that gave to me so much, and everything I have in life is through music and, the support of other people. So I think that a lot more can be done all around. So I try to be the change that I want to see in the industry and always giving a platform to the up-and-comers, and because that's what I wanted when I was coming up in the game, and I'm just happy to do the same because it comes back to you at the end of the day. When you do good, good comes to you, man.
Assisted artists Sika and Gershom expressed gratitude for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely my main stage first one. Big up Alpha for that. That's literally one of my childhood dreams to be on a main stage, and I definitely got to live that dream there tonight. So that was really amazing. Okay, so I did a song called Dreams, which I have with Alpha. It was on my album called Variations. And last year we performed it at Soufre Jazz, and he invited me to perform it at main stage this year. So that was really awesome.
It was a joyful experience, It's always a joy touching and gracing the stage, especially on home soil. It's always a joyful moment, to express your God-given talent on home soil. So, it's always a joyful moment, Well, I mean, it's a long time coming and it's needed, much needed, especially now, because that in itself will inspire other local artists to push and master their craft in a certain way, So I think that's a good initiative, and I think that's something that they should keep and also just continue doing for years to come,
Also gracing the stage with their presence was DYP. Heralded by many as one of the most talented groups out of St. Lucia, the band gave a memorable performance, even serving as a backup for headliner Chloe Bailey. Group DJ Tigerson Penn Joseph indicated that the opportunity to work with the performer was a phenomenal experience.
Amazing, and working with Chloe was a blessing. I think she's an amazing person. She's like a St. Lucian as well. She calls St. Lucia home.
Local,
local. We had to show her that love on stage. It's a few months to put that set together with her and make sure everything was ready for exposing, but definitely working with Chloe, the synergy is perfect.
Music officials will be hopeful that this opportunity will serve as the spark for better things to come in the future. For Choice News Now, I am Quinn Sejis.
Enjoy your time, man. Oh, it's good. It's Mother's Day to the Pakistan. Are you celebrating Mother's Day? Oh, yes. That's my son here.
Well, we're enjoying St. Lucia and the festival. We're from the beautiful island of Barbados. And we're enjoying your food, the people, the beaches. We're enjoying everything. And also, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
It's fantastic. I am having a blast. Yes, awesome. On top, St. Lucia Jazz Festival. On top, first class.
Oh, I'm having a great time. Great time. Best time. I'm enjoying the show. Jazz is great. And today is Mother's Day.
You're feeling so good.
So far, so good. It's been very great. Wonderful.
I'm feeling.
We're having a ball.
Are you guys celebrating Mother's Day?
Very good too.
It's a good choice. Great choice for Mother's Day. For sure. Having a great time.
Calm for now. You know, just enjoying the whole atmosphere. It's a little hot, but when you have the refreshments, it's going on well, man. I must say. Yeah. For now, I'm enjoying it. I must say.
Oh, today is amazing and we love the setup. We love everything. Today's Mother's Day actually. So happy Mother's Day to me and all our mothers in St. Lucia. Continue doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much and happy jazz.
As a mom, for the first time, how many years I haven't been here, but my boss gave me a ticket and I came here to enjoy myself. So far, everything has been good. The hot sun is going down and enjoy it.
Well, we just had, it's Mother's Day, so we're having a good time. We just came out just to enjoy the scenery. Yeah, so no real expectation, just here with the family. So we're going to enjoy.
So far, quite entertaining. We have wonderful acts internationally, and I think the vibe is just nice. Everybody is enjoying Mother's Day. We have a lot of mothers here at Pigeon Island. So very nice. We're just warming down and waiting for the headliners to come on out. But the vibe, lovely. Another stellar St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival for 2020.
St. Lucia, that was excellent. Really happy to see so many persons, local and international and regional. You could tell from the varying accents that they were not only St. Lucians who were interviewed, but of course persons from all across the Caribbean. And Dr. Ernest Hilaire did say that when they looked at the data, they realized that persons came from over 50 countries. Persons who purchased tickets for the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival for 2024 were from about 50 countries. That's a lot of persons. And it just goes to show you how excellent the work of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority is in terms of marketing and promoting this special product that we have. Our final clip for tonight is really a summary by Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire in terms of jazz and some of the feedback that he received, the Minister for Tourism, and also the Chairman for the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Mr. Thaddeus Antoine. We'll hear from them, and of course we do have to say goodnight. We really apologize that we were not able to take as many of your calls, but you know, St. Lucia, we always have so much to talk about. We'll have a conversation on if this show should extend a bit longer than 60 minutes. Let's take a listen to Dr. Hilaire.
St. Lucia revived the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival for its second year since the hiatus. While some question the government's funding for the event, the Investment and Culture Minister has mounted a strong defense.
Anybody who thinks they can do it with the Jazz Festival will always pay the price for doing so.
Culture and Investment Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire continues to champion the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, defending it against criticism regarding government spending on the event.
All social media, all over, is all about St. Lucia and the Jazz Festival and the success that it was. Even more so this year, we have so many of the artists using their own platforms. I mean, if you just look at the interview with Marshall, for example, you look at Davido's, you look at Chloe Bailey's, and you look at all of them, the reach and the extent to which St. Lucia is being marketed and promoted by those artists is phenomenal.
At Monday morning's weekly press conference, Hilaire highlighted the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival's extensive marketing reach and economic impact, achieved through both official promotion and celebrity endorsements.
So, for example, Marshall is still in St. Lucia. He's spending extra time here. He'll be writing over the next few days in St. Lucia for next year. A couple of other artists, of course, there's only so much we can say about because of their own privacy, whatnot. Totally in love with St. Lucia and the experience they had, how they were treated, and the St. Lucian experience. I mean, if you just look at David's postings, for example, and that is immeasurable, significant coverage that St. Lucia gets in terms of marketing and promotion. And then you add to it the visitors who do come to St. Lucia. When we sell tickets and we check online, almost 50 nationalities, 50 countries, persons bought tickets from coming to St. Lucia. So it's a significant benefit in that regard. We've not seen the final figures as yet.
Hilaire also stressed the benefits of community jazz fringe events.
When you add in the community festivals, that benefit is not just a Castries grocery benefit, but it filters down to the communities as well. When you have 5,500 people in Soufrière, for the Soufrière Jazz, it filters throughout the local economy in Soufrière. When you have it in Deriso, even in Bexau, which is a new event, you can actually feel the spread and the filtering down of the benefits, the spend.
Specific details on government spending for the Jazz Festival were not provided, but the Culture Minister emphasized the event's broad positive impact across many sectors of society.
From the caterers, the vendors, the hairstylists, the designers, the seamstresses, the nail therapists, so many different aspects. The suppliers who provide tents and provide stage and music, and the bus drivers. There's so much that goes into that associated economic activity that brings tremendous benefits to the country, tremendous benefits. And then you take it further. Creative industry, the development of our creatives in the country.
The Culture Minister says organizers will strive to continue enhancing the jazz and arts product to ensure both patron satisfaction and maximum profits for stakeholders, while maintaining crucial marketing and promotion reach for St. Lucia. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival chair, Thaddeus Antoine, boasted of the event's success, citing strong media coverage and its positive impact on tourism. Antoine, speaking to the press, defended the festival's mix of musical genres, comparing it to other established jazz festivals around the world.
The 2024 St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival concluded over the weekend, leaving attendees and organizers alike feeling positive about the event's outcome. Thaddeus Antoine, chair of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, spoke with reporters about the festival's success, highlighting its economic impact and enduring brand recognition.
And from all accounts, it's been very successful. Certainly from the St. Lucia tourism point of view, it has been successful because our objective in doing the Jazz Festival is really as a marketing tool for the country. And certainly the media, yourselves, the media and international media played a great part in that. If you look at all social media platforms, you would see St. Lucia is trending. And normally you would see the trend after the festival, but it was during the festival. So no doubt, even after the festival, when the media persons are now sitting down writing the articles and writing what the experiences they had in St. Lucia, we will be prevailing as well. So I can say to you, the St. Lucia Tourism Authority is very, very delighted and excited about what has happened at the festival.
When asked about concerns regarding overcrowding at the Pigeon Island venue, Antoine acknowledged the venue's limitations but emphasized its exceptional qualities, especially in the marketing and branding of the festival.
Pigeon Island is unique in its own right, and you must look at issues of capacity, because we are marketing the country as a destination for visitors to come. Most of your hotels are based up north in terms of capacity. Your mass transportation is based up there in terms of capacity. So you have to ensure that when you host activities, you host them in close proximity to where you have accommodation.
Antoine also addressed criticism regarding the festival's inclusion of genres beyond jazz.
Just recently, you will have seen the articles speaking about St. Lucia's Jazz and Arts Festival being within the top 10 in the world. And I stress on that because I've been seeing recent comments or writing-ups indicating that we ought to change the name of the festival to a music festival because we have jazz, but there are other contents in there it ought not to be called. And I keep saying to people, it's a brand name. One of the leading jazz festivals in the world is the New Orleans Jazz. If you look it up, they're all genres of music in New Orleans Jazz. And the thing about it is that when you have jazz festivals, you just can't have pure jazz in there simply because the acoustics doesn't lend itself. It is an indoor venue that lends itself to having a proper pure jazz venue. You can't be outdoors doing jazz. You don't hear the tones, the instruments properly. It just doesn't work. And so a festival lends itself to having different genres of music as we've been doing. And we've built this brand, St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, for over 30 years now. We just can't throw it away on the basis that people feel concerned that we're misleading the public. We're not misleading anybody because we put out a lineup so everybody gets to appreciate who is going to be on the lineup.
Looking ahead, Antoine expressed optimism for the festival's continued growth.
If you look at the community jazz develop the communities, put economic income in the communities, but also develop the artists within the communities and grow them and to graduate them to main stage. So we're very delighted that we are able to accommodate so many of our national artists on the festival this year. And every year we go by, we're helping more and more. They come on the festival and they place higher up in the running order.
The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is a cornerstone of the island's tourism industry, attracting visitors from around the globe. With its focus on local and international artists, diverse musical genres, and scenic locations, officials are adamant that the festival promises to remain a popular Caribbean destination for years to come. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
And the St. Lucia Tourism Authority has saluted Air Supply on their 49th anniversary. A commemorative plaque was presented on Tuesday, highlighting Air Supply's enduring legacy and their special connection to St. Lucia.
Legendary soft rock duo Air Supply received special recognition on Monday, one day after their memorable performance in St. Lucia on Sunday, May 12th at the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you, baby. I'm all out of love. Whatever I can't to say that I was so wrong. Oh yeah. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right. Believing for so long.
The occasion marked the band's 49th anniversary, and the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, SLTA, took the opportunity to celebrate the group's musical legacy and ties to St. Lucia.
With the festival, we always get surprises, and we didn't realize that Air Supply on Sunday, May 12th, which was Mother's Day, was celebrating their 49th anniversary as a band. To the day, the 12th is actually the anniversary of 49 years they've been together as a group. So we thought it was important to recognize that. Air Supply went live. They were airing live, streaming their performance from St. Lucia to the world on their page for the 49th anniversary. So we thought it's important that the government recognize them.
A plaque was presented to the band by the SLTA and the St. Lucia government.
It's a real pleasure to give a plaque to one of my favorite bands. And I must tell you, we thoroughly enjoyed your performance. I mean, just to see so many St. Lucians singing and recalling those wonderful songs of yours. And you do not seem to have missed a step. So there's something special. No. Please keep at it. And it's a real delight to have you in St. Lucia, and I hope you enjoyed your stay here.
Well, I appreciate this. We're going to be home, moving into a new house.
Yes.
So this will be a pride of place.
A pride of place,
or place of pride, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome, St. Lucia.
Thank you.
And anytime you come into St. Lucia, just let us know.
Yes,
and I assure you, you'll get all the hospitality that's in it.
It's been outstanding these last few days. Beautiful accommodations, and we could not have asked more from the fans at the concert. I don't recall, and this is true, I don't recall an audience singing as loud as they did.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and we've been to this part of the world quite a few times, but this one topped everything. So we appreciate that, your hospitality, your enthusiasm. We love you guys, and we hope that we can come back very soon. And this is a treasure.
The gesture highlighted the enduring popularity of Air Supply and their connection to the island nation.
Thank you so much, you guys, once again.
It's a real fantastic show.
Oh, thank you for saying it's very kind of you.
But thank you. Thanks for coming to St. Lucia. Hope to see you again.
St. Lucia
very
rocks,
soon. Yes,
that's for sure. We love you all here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Whether Air Supply will return for their 50th anniversary next year remains to be seen. The SLTA indicated that future festival lineups are still under development.
It's really up to them. As we go forward, we develop our lineup. We'll see what can work, what cannot work.
Tourism officials say Air Supply's enduring popularity and their connection to St. Lucia solidify the island's reputation as a destination that fosters artistic expression and embraces international acclaim.
And St. Lucia, just to let you know, Air Supply has almost 4 million followers on Facebook. So can you imagine an additional 4 million persons tuned in to the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival? I highly suspect they were brought down for me because it's one of my favorite bands ever. If you saw me in the crowd, you would have seen me singing or hearing me sing every single word, hit after hit after hit. A hit band coming to St. Lucia, and you heard from them yourselves that the hospitality, customer service, everything has been excellent. Of course, hats off to the government of St. Lucia, our Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, for supporting the re-emergence of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Hats off to you, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, for ensuring that the SLP once again brought jazz back to the community and ensured that the numbers surpassed last year's numbers. I will leave that up to you to share with the public the statistics that we can boast about as we celebrate our achievements as a nation, the Helen of the West, on another successful St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. My name is Lucia Jawahir. This has been For the Record. This program is brought to you by the St. Lucia Labour Party. We make it all about the facts and promises and deliveries of an SLP administration. Tune in next week, God spare, same time, same place, every Wednesday from 9 to 10 p.m. right here on Choice Television. If you are on your way home, I hope you get home safely. For those of you watching online, Lou Prudent, Marie Frederick, John Tench, Auntie Jean Francois, all the names that I mentioned and those I may not have seen, Mr. Victor Gerard, the usual person to continue to support the efforts of the SLP. Carlton Augustine, I saw that you were tuned in as well. Thank you so much for your usual support. And of course, Cecilia Allen. We say goodnight here, and we hope that you continue to tune in to NTN. We have another sword turning ceremony tomorrow morning, but next week I'll tell you more about that one. Take care.